Hello everyone, this is Jordan Pinkard, and today I'm going to lead you through a talk about a book I recently read on how you can improve the instructional practice of teachers within your building. The title of the book was Building Teachers' Capacity for Success, a collaborative approach for coaches and school leaders, written by Principal Pete Hall and an instructional coach, Alyssa Simmerall. The setting for the book takes place at Anderson Elementary School, located in Reno, Nevada. The school hosts roughly 500 students on a yearly basis, with about 80% belonging to a racial minority. 90% come from homes of poverty, and about two-thirds speak a language other than English in their homes. The school also hosts a 70% transiency rate. As of the writing of this book, they were also the only school in the state to fail to make adequate yearly progress for 4 years in a row. At that time, Pete Hall took over and he implemented some surface level improvements and instituted a laser-like focus on improving literacy at Anderson Elementary. By doing that, they showed some pretty significant improvements in the first 2 years, but he recognized that not much had been done to really make long-term substantial changes. In the summer before his third year, he made the decision to hire 3 instructional coaches to continue to push Anderson Elementary to the next level. One of those instructional coaches ended up being his co-author, Alyssa Simmerall. The book is broken down into 3 distinct sections. Part one, opening a window to school improvement, basically lays the foundation for any research-based school improvement that should be effective anywhere you go. Section two of the book, Coaching Along the Continuum, provides a blueprint for how to utilize instructional coaches to improve instruction in your building. In section three, the enduring work of building administrators lays the foundation for what you should be doing as an administrator to consistently improve instruction. Key points I got out of section one are, again, data does not lie. Change is always necessary for improvement. Remember, your system is currently set up to continue to produce the results it is already producing. And number three, buying cookie cutter programs are not a solution for sustained change. Just like any book that you will read about instructional improvement, improving schools, good teachers will always be the X factor. So the focus of improving school student achievement should be to improve teacher quality. There's a quote by the American Association of the Advancement of Science down the bottom that really drives that point home. Hall and Simmerall focused their teacher improvement efforts on 3 strong relationships they want their teachers to have. Number one is the peer-to-peer relationships through a PLC. They define a PLC as a collective of educators who always strive to perform to their ultimate potential by working together to learn, grow, and improve the professional practice of teaching in order to maximize student learning. They figure that by working together as a team to identify common goals and by working together to achieve those goals, they can make their weakest teacher stronger and bring them up to the highest level. The second relationship is between the teacher and the instructional coach. And the best thing an administrator can do to make sure that relationship is what it should be is to have a very clear job description for your instructional coaches and to provide a strong framework in which those coaches can work with their teachers. And lastly, the teacher building administrator relationship. It is vital that you as an administrator have a policy such that teachers are okay with working on something new and knowing that a slight failure does not result in a negative evaluation. For me, the second section of this book is really written for an audience of instructional coaches, but is very effective even for a future administrator because it provides an excellent blueprint on how to effectively utilize your coach. One major takeaway that I had by reading this chapter is that coaches should never be used to provide evaluative feedback. You work so hard to make sure that teacher instructional coach relationship is there where there's a little bit of failure, but the point is for growth, that the second the coach steps in and provides evaluative feedback, all trust has been deteriorated. And the value of coaches is readily apparent. If a coach exists within the first 6 weeks of a school year, 85% of teachers implemented a new strategy, while only 10% of teachers who participated only in one-off professional development implement a new strategy. The third section of the book breaks the administrator's role in improving instructional practice into 4 facets. Number one, preach all the time. Relationships, relationships, relationships. You must have those with your teachers to develop that trust. Number two, get into teachers' classrooms as often as possible. Hall and Simmerall actually provide a framework within which an administrator can get into every teacher's room on a daily basis. Number three, providing reflective feedback. The feedback that you provide should be given in a way that teachers are not only reading and forgetting about it, they are able to read your feedback and think about their practice themselves to improve themselves. And number 4, development and evaluation. How is your evaluation of teachers tied back to their professional development? You should be able to develop a plan for each teacher individually to improve themselves. Here's just a practical guide that you can look through that I found in the text that I thought gave a really good delineation between the roles of a building administrator and instructional coach. And here's some big things that I learned and what I personally think everyone should know. Hall and Cimarron classified teachers on what they call the continuum of self-reflection. Why should you focus on improving a teacher's ability to be self-reflective? Well, number 1, they're going to think about their thinking. They're going to have an increased awareness of their personal strengths and weaknesses, thus becoming more effective and efficient. They're going to become increasingly intentional with their instruction. They will know what they are doing and why. They will demonstrate more sensitivity to how their instruction affects students. They'll become more open to mandated changes. They'll become more collaborative and actively participate in PLCs. And they'll become intrinsically motivated to continue learning and empowered to better themselves. The text provides 4 stages for self-reflection: unaware, conscious, action, and refinement. And the text for each one of those stages provides a bevy of resources which you can find here. In conducting evaluations and observations in the past, I've always recognized that different teachers receive feedback in different ways. And I knew in my gut that it was the case, and I knew how to handle individual teachers' personalities. But now, with this text provides a bevy of resources on not only how to recognize where is a teacher in their level of reflectiveness, but how do you make sure that teacher is able to get themselves to the next level.